What's going on, Malakies? Let's spend some quality time hanging out with one another, and I made a promise on Saturday stream, which, by the way, that KVK was insane. We made 90 million points in the first 4 hours, and yes, highlights are on the way, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, guys, I made a promise to you guys that I would have all of the details ironed out for the Community Farming Guild Association. I think I said that correctly, right? But anyways, guys, I said that I wasn't going to start the guild stuff up until I got all the details ironed out, and I promised you guys I would have it done by Monday, and well, it's kind of Monday, all right? So, yeah, but what I need from you guys, though, right now is actually to please share the video. I don't care if you like the video, but please share the video to all of your guys in your guilds, your line chats, all that stuff. The reason I'm asking that is because it ups our chances to get a more functioning community, if that makes any sense. We're talking anywhere from free-to-play to even whale accounts that are just always looking for resources. But anyways, guys, please do us all a favor and share the video, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, Scoops, let's go ahead and get into the details. And just to show you guys that I am serious about this whole setup here, I've got 6 Nox apps open right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? 5 of which are brand new accounts that I just literally created, and I'm going to be going step by step with you guys in these video series, okay? But anyways, guys, look, in the comments section, I need you guys to make a vote, essentially. What guild name do you guys want? And here's how you guys are going to do this, all right? So when you watch the video and you're like, well, I want the guild name to be Turds Are Us, and the guild acronym is going to be TRU, right? Whatever the case may be, okay? If you like that person's guild name and their 3-letter acronym, then hit the like button on their comment, and that's going to tell me what you guys are voting for the most. But if everybody doesn't like everybody's comment, then I'm just going to use whatever name comes up, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? Also, we will need to take a vote on the kingdom. So when we're all formed up, we will take a guild vote through the guild mail on who exactly or what exactly we're going to be doing. So if you're a player who basically doesn't even respond to guild mails, you're going to quickly find yourself on the outs in the guild, okay? We are looking for active members only. And yes, there's a definite way I know how to weed those players out, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? My preference on that is to find a kingdom that is basically at war a lot, like warring kingdoms, okay? I'm talking big might players, because it's those players that have the gems, that have the moolah, and they're always looking for resources, or even deals getting resources, and they'll deal with anybody, okay? Cheapest usually always wins, but we'll get more into that into the future, all right? And so let me go ahead and put a couple of ground rules that are not actual rules, but these are my own personal preferences. R4s are earned. They are not given by asking me, can I get an R4? Can I get an R4 VNN? Because even if you are joking, I will put you on a blacklist for the R4 list so that you will never get it. And if you continue to hassle me about it, I will just remove you from the community. I don't need trolls, basically, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Also, if the first thing you think is, oh, I can join Vnncz3 Guild and earn a ton of guild gifts, let me go ahead and do that, Scoobs, then I highly think that this guild is not going to be for you, okay? If guild gifts are the first thing that come to your mind when joining a guild like this, then I would recommend just not even applying, okay? Because this is not what this guild's going to be about. And we'll talk about what this guild's going to be about, actually. It's going to be set up for development, okay? That does not mean you log in for 2 minutes, you do your little daily stuff, meaning you don't even hunt any monsters for the guild. You hit like a level 4 or a level 5 monster, and then you just kind of log off. Those players will be weeded out at some point, okay? And so don't be that guy, because if you're weeded out that way, I will blacklist you personally, and you'll never be able to come back to the guild, okay? Because to get into the guild, you've got to message me, essentially, okay? And so if you can't message me, you can't get in. And that's all I'm going to say about that, all right? But anyways, guys, I'm making it kind of strict, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make sure that the players who are in here for the right reasons, and not in here just because they want to mooch, essentially. Moochers are what kill a guild. If you guys don't know anything about that, moochers are essentially what kill the guild. So let me give you a good example, all right? When FTW was kind of losing a few players because you're just a little stagnant, mainly because of resources, and that's all I'm going to say is mainly because of resources. Nobody had enough resources to fight all the time, but yet we wanted to fight all the time. And anyways, there's more to it than just that, okay? There really is. Players, you'll see those guys, the moochers, essentially just kind of be like, yeah, I'm going to go back to my other guilds. I'm going to go help those guys out. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? And so it is no big surprise that those players exist in the game, and they have only have their own interest in mind, okay? Only their own, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Those guys right there are what can dismantle your guild just like that, okay? Another thing, if you're a guild hopper, meaning I'm going to join today, and then I'm going to leave, go back to my other guild really quick, and then I'm going to come back to you guys, don't even bother replying, okay? Because once you're in, you're in. If you're leaving the guild for something, it better be to sell some resources or trade for some resources and then come right back, all right? Because I don't want to keep tabs on everybody. That's the one thing right there. Also, if you are a spender in any amounts, if you are a big spender, I highly recommend joining this guild because not only will you get resources cheaper than anywhere else in the market, okay? You'll have it readily available to you at any time, okay? That also means that at some point, we are going to be able to fill rallies constantly because we're not going to be worried about having enough resources. The only thing that's going to hurt us is having enough gems and speed ups to heal the troops, and that's about it, okay? Aside from that, I want to put an emphasis on this not being exactly a warring guild. And the reason I say that is because this is a development guild, okay? So you're developing and you can war if you want to. So that's all I'm going to say, guys. I know a lot of really big spenders that want to develop, but they've got millions of troops they just want to use, but little resources. And those players are really welcomed here, okay? I promise you guys, you won't be disappointed. You will always have resources. And that's all I'm going to say about that, all right? So here we go. We are also looking for only mature players, man. We do not need people freaking out in guild chat because we're under attack. I don't need, like, 1 or 2 people setting a fire, essentially, in guild chat. We're under attack! We're under attack! Did you guys know that we're under attack? Oh, my God! Oh! We don't need that in this guild. They really don't. So if we're under attack, guys, if you are not mature enough to handle that, then please don't apply, all right? If you don't know what to do in that situation, then maybe I would say you can apply, but don't freak out, okay? You can link the guy and say, hey, guys, this guy's at our hive, shelter, or send a guild mail out, or whatever the case may be, and then people are just going to do whatever, okay? And here it brings me up to my next point, okay? We are not going to be promoting hiving, okay? We're not going to hive. If you hive and you want to hive, that's entirely up to you, but hiving promotes people coming by to your hive to attack, all right? We're not going to do that, all right? Because strictly speaking, we are farmers, essentially, okay? We're not going to be warring. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that, all right? So hiving is not a mandatory thing, but being in the same kingdom definitely is going to be a big part of this, all right? Also, if you lose your leader one time, I'll go ahead and make a note on your name or whatever the case may be is, hey, this guy lost his leader, yada, 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 and this is what's up, all right? So you will be removed from the guild until you get your leader back, essentially, all right? And what does that mean, though? That means that we don't need people who are going to be lazy, unproductive, whatever the case may be. You will get an invite back, right? You will. But if you lose it a second time, you're going to be banned, essentially, and blacklisted so that you can't come back because we don't need those players in the guild. We need productive members and contributing members to that. And that counts for getting zeroed and all that stuff. We'll help you out with the resources because we'll have plenty of them. We're just not down to carry somebody who is not caring for themselves, if that makes any sense to you guys. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the guild rules. I told you, sorry for the longer video, but I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible, all right? So the guild rules. Oh, and I also want to mention that I will be holding giveaways in this guild, okay? I'm talking cash prize giveaways or whatever the case is, but nothing is determined just yet. I need to see how big we're going to be, and that also brings me to my next point. We will probably have multiple guilds, but we'll all be part of the same team, okay? One guild strictly for just alts. Nobody cares what you do in that guild. One as a main guild, so on and so forth, all right? But anyways, let's get into the guild rules, shall we? So the number 1 guild rule I will highly enforce, and this is not joking, okay? Not joking. For you guys that want to see the Lord's mobile stuff going on. Rule number 1. Guildfest is 100% mandatory for every single player, okay? That also means that when we get to the point of where we need everybody to score 100 points or more per attempt, That includes the 1,000 gem attempt that is required by every single member. I do not care if we are maxed out points for the gifts, right? We're on gift level 25 million. Oh, well, I'm not going to use my 1K gems to get this because we're already maxed. Don't do it, okay? Because I will absolutely remove you from the guild if you do. You don't think that's fair, but I also don't think it's fair that you've got a lot of other players willing to pick up the slack or willing to push that much extra for you basically just to say, well, I don't got to do any of that stuff. We're already at max. I don't got to do it. So if you think you're going to be slick and just not do it, then you're going to find yourself without a guild, and I'm going to blacklist you because there's no chances at that. If you just don't do it, you're not welcomed. It's simple as that. Why am I so strict about that? Because Guildfest is the way for all 100 members to truly earn something more. I'm talking like loot boxes. I'm talking all kinds of crazy things that they can develop on their own account. I'm talking like it hurts your guild a lot if you are not part of the team. It really, really does. And that's what this whole thing's about. It's about team orientation, okay? So please do not test the waters on that. If you are like 9 of 10 and we're already maxed, do that 10 of 10. I don't care if you fail it, spend your 1K gems, and then be done with it, okay? That's all I'm going to say, guys. Even if we're at max, all right, I do not care. I do not care. Early on in the game, that's not going to be a problem, okay? For you guys out there that have selective hearing and you only heard that, I don't know what to tell you. But early on, that's not going to be the case because we don't really need it. But once we start getting to, I think, the purple tier, right? The purple tier, that's when we're going to start requiring players to do that. But anyways, okay, guild rule number 2. Absent for a long period of time, and that's going to be determined, all right? Will result in a G-kick. So in my opinion, if you are gone for 12 hours or more in the game, I will remove you most likely. Why? Because that tells me that you either are not sheltered or you basically don't care enough to be on the account. I'm not talking you got to be on 24/7, but if you're not even on enough to shelter your own hero, I don't care if you're bubbled, okay? I really don't. Then that tells me that you have another agenda. Basically, you're just going to use the guild to soak up guild gifts and then, carry on about your day, all right? Again, emphasis on the active players, okay? I do not personally care if this guild has 30 members. I really don't. Because all 30 of us could all have 5 accounts each and actively do guild activities like Guildfest and be successful. So please, earn your spot and keep your spot by staying active. That's another part about that, all right? And so number 3, no free rides. You guys kind of get this whole, like, no moochers allowed? No free rides. That means you monster hunt. There's no mandatory requirement of you had to hunt 5 or whatever monsters. Send me screenshots. I don't need all that stuff, okay? But I will be able to tell if you're actually participating or not, all right? I really will be able. So please, don't test the water on that one. That doesn't really mean that you go out and you hit a level 4 and then you just log off or whatever, right? That also means that you can be 100% free to play in the guild. I just don't care, man. Hunt monsters, okay? Contribute. Help everybody else out. Level 1s are welcomed. There's this big notion that if you hunt a level 1 monster, then that means that your guild's going to be doomed to get bad gifts. But let me run this by you, Scoobs. Isn't it common sense? Let me get this music off really quick here. Isn't it common sense that if you hunt higher level monsters, you're bound to get better guild gifts? If I only hunt level 3 and above monsters, am I going to get good guild gifts? So for all of you guys out there that are saying, oh, this, that. Look, guys, there's no evidence. There's no proof whatsoever. There's no tests that have been ran. It's just people wanting to get better guild gifts by spreading propaganda, essentially, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Rule number 5, okay? We are not a warring guild. Warring is not required, but if you want to war, go for it. But rest assured, your resources that you will be getting to heal your troops and to all that stuff, the guild will help you out, okay? The guild will cover those costs for you. We highly recommend, though, that if you're asking for larger portions, like if you say, oh man, I need 40 million gold because I just got trapped by, this player over here, whatever, that 40 million gold, you got to remember, guys, that that's real gems to other people. So we highly recommend that you compensate your other guild members for that. So selling resources to one another, is not against the guild rules in any amounts, okay? You got to remember that the people who are joining here are trying to get a leg up on everybody else. So by you asking for hundreds of millions of resources or whatever the case may be is without giving anything back, you're kind of taking away from somebody else's profits for your own, okay? But if you're a whale, if you are a large spender in the game, or you're on the up and up essentially, and you're building your account up and you're spending a lot of money or whatever, those resources will generally be comped for free, okay? As long as it's reasonable. And that's all I'm going to say about that, all right? Rule number 6, if we have whales or higher spenders in guild, as a guild, we are required to give those players RSS when they ask for them, okay? That kind of goes back on rule number 5, right? The reason why we do something like that is because we want them to stay welcomed. We want them for protection. We want them to possibly attract other players or whatever the case may be is, right? So that we treat our bigger accounts with a little bit more, I guess, like VIP, I guess is what you could call it. If you don't want to participate in that, that's totally fine. But I know that I will be one of the ones that participate in that because I want those players to stay around. I like getting rained on with gold boxes. I like somebody buying random gifts here and there. That's just me as a player, okay? And I don't mind chipping that person, a few, million resources or 100 million resources or whatever the case is here and there, especially if they mail me shields for my account or whatever, right? Like that's the other thing too, right? These players usually have a lot of gems, hundreds of thousands of gems or millions of gems. Their big tie-up is resources, right? And so work a deal out with those guys, right? Get a good deal. 20 million gold, or my bad, even 50 million gold for, a shield. It's a little pricey, but you're hooking those guys up basically, and they'll stick around for a while. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I have all the prices, by the way, of what's going to be the legit prices and all that stuff, and I will post that in the actual guild. The guild information, right? So people know if they want to come trade with us, they know what to expect, all that good stuff. Anyways, let's see here. So 7, the most important rule above all is to basically have fun and treat each other with respect. That means if you're being a drama llama queen or you're being disrespectful or whatever the case is, myself or one of the R4s will just remove you, no questions asked. Like there's no questions asked. And if it's you and another player, if it comes to find out that both players are responsible, both players will get removed. But if it's just one player going at one other player, then we're just going to remove the problem and just move on with our lives. That's pretty much about it, all right? Number 8, line chat is not required, but it is highly encouraged, okay? Line chat is definitely not required, but please, if you can get it, get it. It's going to be a good social media outlet for the whole guild. But anyways, if you don't have it, guild mails, okay? Guild mails. I'm telling you guys right now, that will be tested from time to time, and if you're just simply not replying to the guild mails, you're going to find yourself without a guild. And then when you ask me why, I'm just going to say, well, because you didn't read the guild mail. Like, I asked you guys to do a specific thing, and you just simply didn't do it. Like, is this an account you're going to play on, or is this just an account you want to get some guild gifts on or whatever? And a lot of people, they're usually upfront about that. And the other people are really sour about that. And they're like, there's just so many mails every day, and I don't got time. Blah, blah, blah. Well, if you don't got time, we don't got time. That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? Let's see here. Number 9. This is a really important one for everybody here, okay? Alts can be welcome to the guild, provided they pay a fee, an RSS, all right? And this is how we're going to charge that, and this is how we're going to do that. Because there's a lot of people that are already talking to me saying, oh, wow, I've already got 3 hyper accounts, VNN, let me join your guild. Well, that's 3 or 4 accounts, basically, that are not real, actual individual players, all right? And so what that actually means is that you're taking up a slot for somebody else. And so we'll work those details out later. They'll go into like a guild fund essentially, right? And when that guild fund gets used, we'll find something like we'll do a giveaway or we'll give it back to the community somehow, some way, all right? Whether it's, me sell the resources for money and then do like a $20 gift card giveaway or whatever the case may be. But we will work something out. And if you guys would like, we can have a pot essentially where people pay into with resources. And then we can go ahead and say, okay, look, we're going to do this giveaway. We're going to do that giveaway. We're going to do this, or, we'll figure it out, okay? But anyways, guys, this video is already like 19 minutes. It's going to be 20 minutes, so I don't expect everybody to watch the entirety of the video. Hopefully you guys did, because there's a bunch of information to process, more information to follow. But the first things first, we need a guild name. But anyways, guys, look, you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by to spend some of your quality time. And, yeah. and stay classy.